Good morning. Here we are. We're back with the show. It's December the 13th. It's a big day for us. We're going to be heading to Alice Lloyd here after a while, but our most important focus right now is the young lady that's to my right, Ella Skeens. We're going to talk about Ella and her past experience a couple weeks ago against a couple of I think it was Point Park and West Virginia Tech games, and we didn't highlight Ella last week on our show because of a couple of reasons. It was finals week, and Ella was in the classroom taking her finals, and we felt this was so important that we wanted her to be here when we talk about the highlights that she has. And we always talk about not one individual is going to do all these things by herself. It's a team effort. It's a team accomplishment. And want to talk about Ella Skeens. But before we get into what she did a couple of weeks ago on Player of the Week and National Player of the Week, Ella, we're just coming off of a very transitional period between semesters. And that, as an instructor, that's always stressful for me. I know as you, as a player and a student first, player second, tell us a little bit about where are you right now? Where's your mindset? You just come off of finals. We're in a very busy season. We're doing extremely well. We're 10-1 in the conference. Where is Ella Skeens, and how are things going for you right at this point?
Whenever finals are over and, classes are coming to a kind of end and we get that break, it's really nice to focus on basketball. And I've always, been more focused on kind of the athletic part of it, but I know, how academics is very important. But now that finals are over, I can that weight is off my shoulders, and we can really focus on, these upcoming games that we have. And us being 10-1, we have a big target on our back, and I'm just excited to focus on basketball.
Excellent, and you're exactly right. And you know what? The normal student and the normal faculty and administrative individuals, at this particular point in time, there's a big exhale, and guess what? They get to go home. They get to go relax. They get to go Christmas shopping. But the student athlete in this day and age does not have that luxury at this particular point in time. So you're exactly right. This is a busy, busy time for us. It's a great time for us in the fact that we are preparing to keep this thing rolling. And want to turn back the pages of time, as my dad would say, and we're only going back about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. Want to highlight Ella received River State's Conference Player of the Week. Now, I think it's important that we understand what that entails. In the River State's Conference, it's one basketball player is chosen per week based on her athletic accomplishments, individual accomplishments during the games of that week. Now, some teams may only play one game that particular week. Some may play 2, some may play 3. As we progress forward into January and February, we will be playing at least 2 and in a couple of weeks, 3 games per week. So it's based on the games for that particular week. It's based on individual statistical categories. And it also helps if the team is successful, that helps that individual. So going to go back to a couple of games. Going to go back to West Virginia Tech in a 91-68 win. This young lady, Ella Skeens, had 38 points and 13 rebounds in what I feel is one of the most pivotal games of our season at that particular point in time. As Ella, what is our most important game coming up? Today against Alice Lloyd, and we take it 1-game series championships, and it doesn't matter if we're playing the School of the Blind or we're playing Gino Ariyama from Connecticut. It's 1 game at a time. So, and I'm glad to hear her say Alice Lloyd because that's who we play tonight. But we're talking about West Virginia Tech, her accomplishments in that 91-68 win. She had 38 points, 13 rebounds. Then that same week we went up to Point Park in a 90-68 win. I didn't realize that both those teams only scored at 68. Good defense. Some of those people criticize us that, we don't play defense.
Just score. No.
Gary, did you hear that? Or Coach Osborne, I think that goes to you too. In a 90-68 win at Point Park, Ella had 30 points and 11 rebounds. And I believe as Mike will go to that one graphic, for Player of the Week, Ella ended up with 34 points per game that week in those 2 games, 13.5 rebounds per game, 3 assists, and 4.5 steals. That is unbelievable. That's going to work and getting the job done. So that earned her with her accomplishments and the fact that our team played extremely well during those 2 games, Ella was named Player of the Week, and I believe this is your second Player of the Week for this so far in this young season. So now let's talk about, and that's a great accomplishment, and we're excited and happy for you and for the team. Then out of each conference Player of the Week, and I don't know exactly how many, but I'm guessing there's maybe 15. All those Players of the Weeks are looked at by a committee to be chosen for National Player of the Week. And Ella, because of her stat line and those types of things, and I think Michael throw up that other slide there, that she was awarded the National Player of the Week. Now it says Women's Basketball Player of the Week, NAIA, but I want the word national needs to be in there as well. She was National Player of the Week. That's the second player in my memory, in my tenure here, that's earned that National Player of the Week status. So this is not something that just somebody says, well, let's give her a little bit of loving and a little award. That's a tremendous award, and I believe she'll be able to probably maybe do that again. So Ella, right now, you're shooting about, I believe in the River States Conference, you're averaging about 25.8 points, 10.5 rebounds, 3.3 steals, and a little over 2 assists per game. How do you categorize that, and what helps you do those things individually?
I think, I can't say anything besides saying, my team. Without them, I wouldn't get the ball. I wouldn't, leak out and transition, get those layups. My point guards, the post, everybody play into that. I think this season coming in, I didn't necessarily have pressure from last year, but I kind of just put that on myself. Just that's the kind of player I am. Just have that target on our back. We always have. And, coming into season this year, I'm expecting that, and no let-ups, just working hard, playing the game, having fun.
I agree with that, and you know what? You're focused. And I'm glad you made the comment that last year you transferred in. That was your first year, and anytime you go from one program to another program, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of anxiety. You're looking at that new program, and those coaches, and it's kind of like eye candy. They look like they're okay, and that program looks like it's good. That school looks like it's good, but you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get when you bite into one of those. Tell us a little bit about your transition to Rio, and you can be as honest as you want to be. Tell us, was it what you expected? Were you a little disappointed? Tell us about your transition to Rio.
Coming in, this is my third school, attending University of Dayton for 2 years and then Ball State for a year. I think I grew up a lot coming into college. I didn't really know what to expect. High school basketball is a lot different than college basketball. And it's kind of a wake-up call. So I don't regret any of the process I've ever been through. It was a lot of work and tough work, but I got through it. Transferring to Rio, it was kind of that space where I didn't know if I really, enjoyed or loved basketball anymore. So that was kind of hard. And then, visiting with you guys and the coaches and the love and the family aspect of it all really, brought me in. And then, season happened, and it was just getting into the flow and being comfortable and kind of finding that confidence that I think I lost before. And, welcome arms, and I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to, take it as far as we can.
Good. Well, you've been a joy and a wonder. You're an amazing young lady, which, there's so much that goes into what coaches look for and look at in players. And, you play hard. Anybody that's watched this young lady play, she's diving into bleachers and steps and diving over benches and just sacrificing her body. And she does that in practice. She's just all out. She's all in, is what our players have come up with the slogan, all in. And that's reassuring, and that's amazing. And she's only, and I don't like saying things like this to players, but she's about 60 points away from 1,000, because sometimes that kind of gets in their head and, it creates problems. But we have no worries about that. So Ella's about 60 points away from 1,000-point career plateau. If she stays on pace, analytic analysis from Coach Bias. And by the way, Coach Bias couldn't be here today. He's on another assignment in one of his 4 jobs that he's got here at the University of Rio Grande. And President Smith, that boy should be knocking down 6 figures with all the stuff he's doing. But we're okay with him being on the road. He's going to meet us halfway down to Alice Lloyd. But Coach Bias has kind of predicted and projected that things continue down the path that we're going, that Ella may reach around the 1,400 point career plateau, and that's 2 seasons, and that's up there. So, young lady, you're a great teammate. We love who you are and what you do. Talk a little bit about team chemistry.
I've talked about before on this show coming in and just how our team kind of plays together and the pace. We like to push the ball. And we're more than just teammates. We're more than just friends. We really are family. And you hear that around a lot, and you can choose to believe it or not. But we really mean it. Mm-hmm. And you went back to saying all in, and we say that before and after every practice and every game, and we really mean it. And I feel like our record shows that, and just our history and where we're going really shows that. Like, we're really together, and the chemistry's just there. It clicks. We click together.
I agree 100%. I think key word is chemistry, and then I think you throw culture in on that, and those are words, and family. Those 3 words, chemistry, culture, and family, get thrown around a lot by a lot of programs and a lot of coaches. I agree with you. That comes to fruition with us. Last night, you all were out the house, and my wife, Judge Margaret Evans, and my favorite mother-in-law, Rosemary Evans, fed you guys. You're out the house, and you start playing some card game that is over my head.
Mine too.
And it was, and you guys were just cackling and laughing and having fun and competing. And I think my wife went upstairs, and one of the players said, "Coach, do you need us to go?" I said, "No, stay all night. Do your laundry here if that's what you need." That's kind of what we have created, and that takes a village, so to speak. I mean, we have a ton of boosters that help create that environment, and that's what makes it fun. I really think that's what makes it fun. So we got a lot of great things ahead of you, and again, congratulations, Ella Skeens, on Player of the Week, National Player of the Week, and many, many more accolades to come. And congratulations, University of Rio Grande women's basketball team, because it's a team effort. Ella doesn't do this on her own. It's a combination of both, and I'm so proud and happy of our program where we are. And now we gotta get back to business. We gotta get back to business. So speaking of business, we want to quickly highlight our last game, which was Saturday. Every time we travel to that beautiful, wonderful city of Pittsburgh, and I enjoy being there, but I'm an old country boy, and I can't wait to get to the gently rolling hills of southeastern Ohio. Oh, we had a little excitement on the way out of Pittsburgh. We're in 3-lane traffic, just getting ready to go in the tunnel, and our bus driver, Bill Burleson, he comes to a complete stop. We got 3 lanes of traffic that stopped, and the knuckleheads in front of us, it's a white pickup with a ladder on it. I thought they were the driver got out and ran around the front. The passenger guy got out, and they started fighting. They were hitting each other. They were pounding. And we're like,
in the middle of the
and we're
street.
just like, what is going on? And they fight for about, I'd say, a minute. And there's probably 15 punches that land, and finally they get back in the car or the truck and they move on, and we're all laughing. I said, well, that was round 1, the boxing, the Thrilla in Manila and all that, which nobody knew what I was talking about. And I said, Coach Bias, Coach Markin, we're going to get up the street here, probably round 2. And we no sooner got through the tunnel, they were pulled off again. And the same guy that was on the driver's side he got out, but the guy on the inside locked the doors, and he's paddling. It's unbelievable. You cannot.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. So let's talk a little bit about what are your recollections and what are your thoughts on what did we do at Carlo?
Carlo, I think we really focused on playing our game. We came in there and everybody did their job. Everybody worked hard. We talk about never taking anybody lightly, or every game we're prepared for it. And I feel like that we went in there and we played our game, and that's what we did. We came out with a win.
What did some of your teammates do? I knew you saw you made a few notes there.
Yeah, so Darnell scored 15 points, and then Lexi had a double-double with 17 points and 10 rebounds. And that's just going back to the way we play as a team. It's not just, one person doing it all. Can't win that way. We went 23 for 29 for 79.3% at the free throw line, and then 58-37 out-rebounded them, which is, how you win games.
Right. And you're right, and that was 115-52 victory. And in this coaching, and I'm not a fan of beating a team 115-52, and I've never done that in the past because I'm old school. But the game and the projections, we're top 25 team. Last year, top 25 right now, we're number 14 in the country. And if we don't beat a team that somebody else is playing and match or go beyond what somebody else has done, then that hurts us a little bit. If we would have just kind of backed off and beat them 80-52, that's still a good win. But it's in the eyes of the Raiders, it's like must somebody else beat them 100-52. So, and I don't like that. But we have to play, and I don't want anybody out there thinking that my program, my players, or our coaching staff, we're just running it up, because I've been on that other end of it, and that's not fair. But the deal that what we have to live with today is we've got to, if we want to stay in the top 25, which we do, that's a goal, and that's just the way that ball bounces. In that Carlo game also, and you were right earlier, Asia Williams had a double-double, 10 points and 10 assists, and we can go down through, and our bench up there at the Carlo game scored 49 points, which was almost enough to beat Carlo. So proud of what our team as a team accomplishment, what we're doing as a team is really, really phenomenal. And our bench, I think we got one of the best benches in the country, because on any given night, there's a Ella Skeens, well, and not to mention you had 20 points and 8 rebounds in that Carlo victory. And so opponents have to kind of focus on an Ella Skeens, a Kaylee Darnell, a Lexi Woods, and then, sometimes an Asia Williams or Lavender Ward will come in and do some amazing things. It's hard for a team to shut everybody down, so we always have other people that step up. Let's talk a little bit about our journey today. We're going to journey down to Pippa-Passes, Kentucky. Going to go past Wayland High School, which that means absolutely nothing to you and you players, but that was the home of King Kelly Coleman, and I've been in that old gym, and so much basketball history in Eastern Kentucky. Alice Lloyd is rich in basketball tradition on the women's side. Right now they are 9-2. They're just like us, 4-0 in the league, and we're playing in Pippa-Passes. It's a beautiful place in Kentucky. It's a tough place to play. They got a nice facility. Let's talk a little bit about the scouting report. Highlight a few players that I know it's on your mind that we're going to have to deal with down at Alice Lloyd today. I
know we got Cash is there, and then 21. I'm blanking on her name, but
well, I called her Montgomery, but her name is Moore.
Moore, yes. But we got to watch out for them. Great guards, and shoot the ball, can drive. They can pass it off to their bigs. Their post players that's where we have to stop in their game to be able to win and be successful today, and just play our pace. We can't let us play their pace. We can't slow down our game. Got to push the ball and throw it up the floor when we can in transition, and just be ready for whatever they throw at us. You're
right. That's a great summary. Number 20, Cash, and she spells it with a K. That's how I remember things. She's like a Vinnie Johnson of the old NBA. She's like a microwave. When she gets hot, she can just fill up the basket from the outside, and she's very aggressive, gets it to the glass. And then 21, Moore, a little thicker, stronger guard that can take it to the rack and create some problems. And then they have a couple players on the inside. Number 4, Brainerd, big post player that's very agile and active on the blocks. And then number 14, I believe, is it Thompson possibly? I think so. A long stretch type of post player. So they've hurt us in the past down there. And so we got to be focused. We got to be dialed in, and we're going to have the same defensive tenacity that we had against West Virginia Tech on West Virginia Tech's perimeter shooters. So Alice Lloyd, we got to focus on Cash and Moore, and then they have another player that could sneak out and hit some threes. Then our post players are going to have to really stay focused on their inside game against Brainerd, number 4, and number 14. So we're on the road, and we've got a couple of other little things that maybe is in the back of some of our minds. Ella, what are we doing Thursday night at 11 p.m.?
Well, the most important thing we're focused on today is the game.
Oh, you got it.
But then we are heading to Puerto Rico, which I'm very excited about. It's been before the holidays. But, yeah, we take off. Is it Thursday night?
Thursday night, 11 p.m.
11 p.m.
So Ella's right. She's bringing me back online here, and our most important game is here this evening down at Pipapasses, Kentucky with Alice Lloyd. And then looking forward, December the 30th, when we come back from being in Puerto Rico, Christmas break, we'll be back here on the 26th, and we'll have a few days to prepare. We go into the Lions Den at Indiana Wesleyan University. They're number 8 in the country. By that time, that could change. They could move up. They could drop down. We could move up. We could drop down. I believe tomorrow another ranking will come out. But Indiana Wesleyan is a premier basketball team in women's basketball, top 25 for the last several years. So that's going to be a tremendous test for us as well. So that kind of wraps things up here on this edition, and a couple of things. If you, and I want to come back to Ella for just a brief moment, if she continues down this path, she's on track to have one of the most productive single season scoring records in women's basketball program. So she's on track for that. So knock on wood, we're not going to worry about those things. We take it one day at a time. We take one championship series at a time. And Ella, from a coaching perspective, we're happy that you're here. We're glad you're here. You're a tremendous young lady, and I look forward to finishing this thing off. And that window's closing. And what do you think you'll be doing after you graduate and move on, real quick?
I want to coach. I want to spend time with kids. I think that's what I want to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
You work extremely well with children and young people, and you'd be a tremendous role model. And we need good, strong women in those positions, coaching and being a role model for our youth. You would be a tremendous asset at that. So give me a high five, kid. That does it for this week. We will not be back until next year, because that's the way that ball bounces, right, Mike? Come and watch us down at Alice Lloyd. Thanks.